Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. In our today's lecture, we are going to learn about the issues of a priori algorithm. We have seen a priori algorithm in our previous lecture. So the issues are, although the algorithm is easy to implement, it needs some many database scan which reduce the overall performance. Yes, as in our previous lecture, we have seen that if I want to find the frequent item set, then I have to manually check each and every data set, and after discarding some item I again repeat that process. So that happened many times if our data set is very large. Thus in our example we have taken only a small data set, but in real life the data set is very large. So to do in that large data set, it is very difficult task, so it reduces the overall performance. Second is, if data set is very large, then the time complexity is also very large. It needs some more time to compute that operation, and it needs more time to complete that task. So if the data set is large, then the time and space complexity is also increases. It also requires more memory. So due to the database scan, the algorithm assumes the transaction database in a memory resistance, and so it requires more memories for each and every transaction. Each and every database scans, we have to store that each scans. So this is also a very difficult task. It requires more memory, requires more time. So that are the issues of a priori algorithm. So there are other variants of a priori algorithm is available, and that is called the improve a priori algorithm. So that is used to improve the efficiency of a priori algorithm. Though some of them are, first is a hash based item set counting. So this is one method. We can also say this is an improved a priori algorithm. So what happened in the hash based item set, like the item set can be hashed into corresponding buckets. We'll put each item set in a particular bucket, and for particular iteration, suppose there are k item sets, so it can generate and hashed into their respective bucket and increase the bucket count. So at every iteration it increase the bucket count, and the bucket with the count lesser than the minimum support. Yes, now we know what is the minimum support, that is already given. So that the item set which value is minimum than the minimum support that are discarded. So the bucket with the count lesser than the support should not be considered as a candidate set. So this is how the process is continuous for other transactions, and that is how we can find the frequent item set by using the hash based item set counting. Second method is a transaction reduction. So the transaction reduction means we are discarding some transaction which are not relevant for further computation. So that is why we can, so that is how we can reduce the data size of the data set. So a transaction that does not contain k frequent item set will never have the k plus 1 frequent item set. Yes, suppose we have a data set, and in which we find that the cheese is not the frequent item set. Yes, so the item cheese is not in the frequent item set. So a mozzarella cheese also, or the processed cheese, so the types of cheese are also not in the frequent item set. So this is how we can remove these types of multiple data from database, and we can reduce the size of the database. So such transaction should be reduced from future scans. Third one is a partitioning. So in this technique, only 2 database scans are needed to mine the frequent item sets. The algorithm has 2 phases, and in the first phase the transaction database is divided into the non-overlapping partitions. So here as per the name, we are dividing our transaction database into partitions, and the minimum support counts of partitions is a minimum support suppose X number of transaction in that partitions, and local frequent item set are found out in each partition. Yes, so we'll divide each item set into the partition. Now we can compare this with the minimum support, and based on that we'll reaches to the local frequent item set of each bucket. The local frequent item set may or may not be a frequent with respect to the entire database. However, a frequent item set from the database has to be a frequent in at least one of the partitions. So all the frequent item set with respect to each partitions from the global candidate item set. So in this second phase of the algorithm, a second scan of database for actual support of each item is found. So this are the global frequent item set. So first we'll found the local, and based on the local we'll again scan the database. We'll remove or discard the item set that are not in the given condition, and that is how we can reach to the global frequent item set. The next is a sampling. So rather than finding the frequent item set in the entire database D, a subset of transactions are picked up and search for the frequent item sets. So we already know what is the sampling. We just choose a sample from many databases. Yes, we are choosing the representative from database, and that is how we can use the sampling. So what happened in this algorithm, like we have multiple transaction database. So on that database, suppose there are 100 rows and 100 columns. Yes, so from that we are choosing the representative whose contain the item with every attributes can be considered. Yes, so that is how we can reach to the correct output. So for suppose we are choosing the 10 item sets. So from that 10 item set, from the 10 transaction, we can reach to the frequent item set very easily. So that is how sampling is work. So the lower thresholds of minimum support is considered as this reduce and the possibility of missing the actual frequent item set due to a higher support count. So this is how sampling works. Next is a dynamic item set counting. So in this database is a partitioned into the blocks and is marked by start point. It maintains a count so far. If count so far crossed a minimum supports, then the item set is added to the frequent item set collection, which can be further used for the generate the longer candidate item set. So it dynamically divides the database and first starts from the start point, and it maintain one counter. So it maintain that counter, or we can say that maintain one flag, and if it reaches to the minimum support, then it can be used for the frequent item set counting. So this is how the algorithm is used for finding the frequent item sets, and it is also called the improved a priori algorithms. So that is about the improved a priori algorithm. So thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.